And so just a question to both of you really, is there anything technically, when you're standing behind it in terms of pre-shot routine, thinking about what you're going to do, you're taking information in as you walk around, making a decision on the line, you've made all your decisions by the time you get down to the ball?
Yeah, I think when you stood behind a shot, you're just getting on the line, aren't you? Finding like where to hit, and then you just got to try and get from here to like on the shot in a straight line, which is easier said than done, I think, sometimes.
It is, yeah, okay. Looks pretty good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions you want to ask while we're in this early stage at all? Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
When the red ball, the white, two ones on with top punch, you hit straight in the pocket. I tend to miss.
Well, we won't ask you to play then, sir. Okay. Yeah, I think you're talking about the shot along the cushion.
Along the cushion,
Ah, I see, right. Okay.
Down the rails.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, down the rails, anything sort of around here and tighter, you just got to try and pot them as softly as you can. I think if you hit the ball a little bit harder, it makes the pocket way tighter, so if you can just pot the ball soft as you can.
Would you play it with a bit of side, if it's tight on the cushion, or would you just play it plain ball?
To be honest, I do the opposite. I try and hit it as hard as I can. I do. I feel like it makes the pocket bigger, but I don't. I try and widen the pocket when I hit it. Yeah.
That's nice that you agree.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, excellent. Okay. While we're on the same topic in that case, I mean, plain ball side, how much do you use? How often do you use it?
I think you know more about technique. I don't really know what I do.
I think I probably use a little bit of side, I think, on every shot. I think you do as well, but Judd aims a tiny bit right of where he hits.
Yeah.
So sometimes it looks like he's hitting right, but he hits bang in the middle.
Yeah.
Whereas I mean, most other players, not everyone does it, but you can sort of see where they're aiming. But he doesn't know his technique. It's just natural.
It's very rare to play a shot plain ball. I think unless the ball is straight, then you probably most of the shot is with help inside, isn't it? So
I think it always helps as well if you put a bit of side on. It's just like fractions, but you know which way the ball's sort of spinning. Whereas if you go a middle and if you hit a little bit left or right, the white can spray off in any direction. But if you know you're going to try and play this with a tiny bit of left.
Okay, go on. See one.
Oh.
Shot. So, nice one.
you've got to leave the cue ball as tight as possible, haven't you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought he was taller than that.
Okay, so a lot of players in the club play with unwanted sides, so they don't realise they're putting the side on.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, in a lot of occasions you get players who play almost every angle pot with side, with running side basically, or helping side as you'd call it.
I think them spotted whites, you can buy the white balls with the little red dots on.
Yeah.
And it's even, I've got one, and sometimes I think, like, honestly, this shot's the best to see if you're hitting the middle of the white, because I know for me, what I think is the middle of the white ball is actually slightly left.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite of him. I think I aim a tiny bit left and hit to the right. But if you sort of don't sort of look at it for a while, you can start hitting shots with left and right. So if you get something like this, a shot where you just got to stun it in for the black, get the spotted white ball out. If we had one, it'd be good. But this shot's sort of one where the side shows up when you don't realise it, unless you've got the white ball you can see actually spinning.
Something like that. There we go. There
I
we
made
go.
it.
He's got a treat for you. Go on.
Oi, oi.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Okay, I think if I hit this like that, then it'll sort of, you'll be able to see it spinning anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to hit it quite hard, harder than I normally would, because it sort of like amplifies the error. Yeah.
What's going to happen? Yeah. Great shot.
Yeah, but
Okay. So I tell you, I was really interested in what you've just said about you don't think about that technically at all. I mean, you just said it's just natural talent. I mean, is that you're not thinking about technique, or
he's playing it down a little bit. He don't really think about it. He's just he's playing up to the cameras. But I think a lot of the people, for me, I don't try and think too much about or complicate things. I know that if I put the work in, and it's worked for the past however many years, it doesn't change overnight. So there can be little things that can change now and again, but try not to complicate too many things, especially at the start. Make things as easy as possible and build your confidence up that way. That's how I find. Make everything as easy as possible. It's only then when you can really get through those first few things, the line-up, stuff like that, then start using side and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
What's your favourite routines then, guys, once you're warmed up?
Once you're warmed up, I know we both basically do the same stuff. It's like line up, then the tee, then I call this one's like a
favourite, the tee, isn't it? I've seen it so much.
Yeah, I think it's like the easiest one pretty much.
Right. And then
this is like called the box. I think this one, so you do the same with the reds the other side.
Yeah.
I normally start with first red is normally a long one, or I stick one on the cushion to practice down the cushions.
Challenging first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the if you try and pot the first all with red black and stay sort of around here, get rid of these reds first.
Yeah.
It's really good for sort of controlling high and low, making sure you're the right side of the black.
Cool. Yeah.
Because even a shot like even sort of like shots that look quite simple, like potting this black, trying to sort of come in here with a white. That's actually like a really hard shot. So I could easily sort of cock this up, because look, I'll come too low, and there's like a lot of feel involved. But the more you do it, sort of get the basics right, it's a massive difference between sort of finishing this side of the red. Whereas if you finish low on it, then you've got to come up for the blue.
As you go through the routine as well, it gets harder because you start playing for individual balls then. So the first couple you can get away, you get lucky because you've got choices.
Yes.
As you go through it, then you come down. You've got to land perfect every time then. So you can kind of build your confidence up that way.
That's the double-edged sword of lineup, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can actually hit a bad shot and still finish on a ball that you can pot. So it's a confidence builder. And in a game of snooker, the balls never finish like that, do they?
No.
And you also end up playing a lot of straight shots on lineup as well.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gents, any other questions you wanted to ask while the guys are still just running through a couple of routines? Anyone?
You bought the ball on the rail the way you play it.
Down the rail?
Between the ball
Throwing it at you guys, eh?
Yeah, so like this shot, I think what I'm trying to say is if I'm playing it at this pace, just rolling it in as soft as possible, like this is giving the pocket the best. It's going to go in that route and it went in. But even if I hit it like this hard, a tiny bit harder, see, that would have gone in before. Yeah, come on then, Judd.
How hard do you want it?
That's a leading question. You're not allowed to say that.
Scale 1 to 10.
This pocket is tight as well. You see that was tight.
Is it?
You got no chance. To be fair, I see you do one the other tournament, the Champion of Champions. You've done if it was against, who did you beat? Was it Mark? You ran one in. I thought you got no chance. Yeah.
But generally, I mean that is actually what I think. I'd rather play the ball harder than, obviously Jack was just personal preference. I find that maybe with my cue action I can stay straighter on line for longer, playing it with more power. Jack's cue action's probably just that little bit straighter than mine, so he can hit the ball a little bit softer and drop it in.
And the lady over here was just asking how early, when did you start? I know.
Yeah, how old were you when you
through
first
the juniors.
picked the cue?
Oh, we were young.
I think snooker I was 6, but I played pool from maybe 4 or 5, so very, very young. Yeah, I think Jack was just a little bit older.
Yeah,
right?
a tiny bit older, but same when I was about 5. I was playing on the floor. I put golf balls down. I try and like.
Come on then, show us.
Oh dear.
Did you know each other before snooker
No.
as well, or no?
No. We first met maybe because I was playing in competitions a little bit before you, weren't you? But because we were from the same area, we were playing in very similar competitions, and we got to know each other like that.
I think I remember we played in a handicap competition in Bristol, and well, I can't remember what my handicap was, but he was giving me about 40. I thought, I've got to beat this guy. He beat me like 3-2, and I thought, man, I'm way off. I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. But
and
yeah.
what about, you talked about technical, so what about coaches? I mean, you're both very, very natural players.
I don't think you never had a coach, have you?
Very, very young. I think when I was first learning the game and when I first started playing, because I was so young, I used to queue out here because I wasn't tall enough. So then as I got older, I learned to straighten up my arms. So it kind of helped with that. But then you get to a certain point, I felt like I learned everything I could when I was like 11 or 12, and then from then on, it's just, for me, I'm learning off other players, looking what they do, watching the TV. I still always watch snooker on TV and try and learn that way. Try and learn from my opponent, not sulk too much in my chair, and try and concentrate on what they're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Something to learn all the time. I mean, it's not a game of perfection, is it?
No, no, you have to be.
If you try and chase that.
Yeah, you have to be patient.
There, but you could drive yourself nuts, couldn't you?
Yeah.
If you did that.
Yeah, sometimes you got to appreciate a good miss.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that why you ram that one in hard, just in case
Yeah.
you don't leave it over the bag?
Yeah.
What about equipment, guys? Cues, what you're playing with at the moment, and tips. I know a lot of people have asked about tips. Because some people are tip nuts, aren't they? And they're forever changing around and changing tips.
Yeah, see, I think basically everyone I know likes a hard or medium tip, but I think I'm like the only I need a soft tip. Like if I get a hard tip, I can't. Like if you look at that tip, Sam, you can see my tip's almost like fraying, and if I press it, I can push right in. It's so soft. I just can't play with a hard tip. I don't know if when I was little, I used to play with soft tips, but yeah, it drives me crazy. So I need soft tips, whereas I ask him, and you know, he doesn't even know. You know, is it hard or soft or what?
I don't know, but I think Jack's told me, Matt Seltz told me, I must have the worst tip on the top. If you look at it, it's all frayed edges. Like Jack's are perfectly around. I've got all little bits coming off. It's rock. I don't even like hard tips. There's a rock hard tip on there. I just too lazy to change it. I get what I'm given, and I have to deal with that.
I do my own tips, and Judd can't put a tip on. So
no.
he sends his cue to London. He sends it. About 2.5 hours.
I do. I'm in Solihull.
Oh really? Yeah. Well, it'd be better. But he put a tip on for me once, and it fell off. Never again.
Absolutely.
It was.
Question about chalk, gentlemen, yeah?
Yeah, what's the best chalk? The new chalk?
Nah, original.
Yeah.
Triangle, triangle. Stick to triangle, yeah. Because it puts your opponent off as well. They think it's too messy and they get really annoyed. So you get in your head before they start.
So you've stuck with the old triangle.
Yeah.
You've gone
I'm on
to
the tower.
yeah.
I went to Judd's for a game about 3-4 weeks ago, and literally first frame I've had a massive kick. We were having a practice, and I've had a massive kick, and I haven't had a kick for months in where I play, and I just looked at him, and I thought, I don't know when he's going to convert. I don't think he is, but you can't help stubborn people sometimes.
I do remember that. I think he had a kick, didn't you? And then he asked me why I was still using it or something like that. And then the next frame he miscued, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, I think the early stuff.
Yeah,
a few miscues.
the early stuff did.
The
early stuff did, yeah. And now for me, I think I just get just as much spin with this gear. But I think the best thing is it doesn't, because it's a bit softer. It doesn't actually rub your tip down. Yeah. So my tips now, they used to last about 2 months. Now these things are lasting like a year because it's a really soft. So I think that was what actually normally wears a tip down, the chalk. Whereas this stuff is softer, and my tips are lasting 3-4 times as long. So it's priceless for me. I'm not getting kicks and gear.
And cues. I mean, obviously very personal, very individual. You keep the same cue. You've had it for a long time.
This cue I've had about 5 years, I'd say. Yeah. So most of my success has been, the real success has been with this cue. But I'm someone that probably changes maybe every 5 or 6 years. The way I hit the ball, I kind of bend the cue at impact.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
Wear it out.
Yeah, it actually bends the cue a little bit, and I feel like it loses a bit of power because I hit the ball too hard. So I'm someone that has to kind of change a little bit more often than maybe some people that have used their cues. You're a bit of a tinkler as well, aren't you?
John Paris made me a new cue actually the other month, and I'm trying to change, but I don't know. This cue's doing all right. I guess sometimes you sort of search for something that's not there. You know, I want a cue that's. I want the way. I know what I want. I'm a bit more specific.
What do you reckon to that? Is that a bit of you or not? Go on. It's a self-potting cue, so you can't. You can't miss.
Yeah.
What do you want? Go on. You can't miss it with that cue.
That's a hard shot. It's good technique, though. Oh!
Wow. See.
Right, forget you two. Any questions?
The cue actually works for anyone, so if you want.
It's just a magic cue.
Yeah.
Magic cue. Okay. Guys, we're running kind of short of time now, so we're going to wind things up. Any other questions before I ask the guys to play a couple of shots for us? Sorry?
When do you know when you turn professional? When do you know that you're ready?
When do you know you're ready when you turn professional?
Yeah, when do you know? When do you get that feel for selling?
I think I just turned 16. I mean, you don't really know. You want to be doing well in the amateur, like your own age group. You want to be winning everything in that age group, and to progress from there. Really, you want to really be the top player. When I was sort of winning competitions, it wasn't in my age group. It was sort of like one or two above. So same for Jack. Really, we're probably the best coming through. But you never really know, and you're never really ready for the step up in level. It is so much higher when you turn professional than junior tournaments. So you need to be professional just to get the experience for a year or two to try and improve. Otherwise, you can't get that playing people that are not as good as you.
Yes, you need to be challenged.
Yeah,
you definitely need to be challenged. Guys, you're going to say you must have a couple of favourite shots you play just to finish off this evening. It doesn't have to be a trick shot. Stuart entertained us with a banana shot today, this afternoon. I just wonder if you could think of something. He played a banana shot to the yellow off the black, but anything at all. It's entirely up to you. No pressure. Yeah.
I can't play it again. You could probably play it. It's setting me up. I mean, my favourite is that one when if I finish low, I go around the table and play for the yellow off 5-6 cushions. I feel like that one's always. Oh. It normally works.
Bit more side on that one next time.
That was wise.
No pressure.
Oh. This table's go.
Yeah, I know. I've ruined it up, but go on, Jack.
Okay,
You show me how it's
anything
done.
to show us at all?
I got nothing, man. I like. Do you know all that stuff? Sort of impressive. I like to. I just think I like to.
You're more about straight cueing.
Yeah, like a good strike. That's what I get a thrill off of.
Yeah.
Like a good.
Like
I think it's like class, like hitting the ball, getting as
Bang
much
in the
spin.
centre,
Yeah, getting a nice bit of spin and not hitting the ball too hard. So I think it's more impressive for me when a player's got really good timing. Obviously, Judd's got amazing timing. So
Yeah, 'cause I mean-
when they sort of, you think, oh, he didn't even hit that, and you see the white, and it's like.
And timing's everything. In that,
Yeah.
isn't it? Absolutely, yeah.
So I think on a shot like this, I'm trying to pot the blue, obviously, like screw the white back here, but I'm not trying to throw my arm at it. I just think it's impressive when someone pots a shot like that and they give the pocket the best chance, hit the ball in there as soft as possible.
You can feel a good strike as well.
Yeah.
You know straight away.
Hey.
That wasn't it.
But I think,
Down here.
what are you laughing at?
There you go.
Yeah, but I think for me, like that's sort of what is very like repeatable, potting shots and with good timing.
Right, fantastic.
How many hours a day do you practice, you guys?
Not enough. I think I was doing the last few weeks, probably 3.5 hours a day. Yeah, and then every day. But I think so. But the last week I've been doing like 2.5 hours, and then having a few hours off, and then doing another sort of 2 hours, because you can't really do much more than that, because like by the end of the day I'm so drained, because snooker's obviously it's not physical, but you've got to really concentrate on every shot, and it's mentally draining, I guess. At the end of the day, I'm off of about 4 hours. I'm done.
Yeah, eyesight, concentration.
What about you, John?
I'd say slightly longer, but not much longer. I think for me it's just about, if I can go like an hour without missing, that's more impressive. Just trying to keep the concentration. If you can, in practice, if you can go like an hour without missing a ball, go through 6-7 routines, then when you go out there, you're only playing 4 frames before the interval, so you've done more than enough, and you're more prepared. So it's more about quality than quantity for me. Yeah, if you can miss as least as possible rather than playing an extra 10 frames of missing 2 or 3 times, that's much better than going through the motions for the sake of it.
You get to a point where you know you're tired, and
and that's when
your eyes are tired,
and that's when you
yeah.
should stop.
Yeah.
You're gaining nothing after that point. Just smashing the ball around.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to stop there, but can you please put your hands together? Huge thanks to George. Brilliant, really appreciate it. And I think you've just converted another 100 people to be rooting for you, so congratulations and well done.
Cheers, guys.